All right, guys, watch this for Monday, April 25th. Just got done getting attacked on Twitter by a guy thinking conservatives are heartless. I don't know how that comes about. It's actually the opposite. But then I go to his feed and find out he's a traitor. And I can never get my head around a liberal, which I equate with a Sanders supporter, being a traitor. So I searched for a picture of the guy, and I found one right here. And then here's his dad. So if you trade stocks and you're a Sanders supporter, there's your picture. There's absolutely something wrong with you. That guy would put an end to day trading for all of us. So here's a SPY. We had it hit. It's holding up actually pretty well after hitting this trend line. Nice bounce off the 8-day. So I certainly don't think it's time to head for the hills if you're along. Let's go into the watch list. SRPT, really big spike on Friday. Here's the intraday. Gave a huge move, gave a nice secondary move, and it actually closed pretty well. You want to be careful with this one, but I definitely want to have this on a watch list. If you're a day trader, you got to be watching this one on Monday. Whoops, I typed that one wrong. NEOT. This was 70 cents before Friday's session. So, but it still, with this volume spike and this long sideways move, maybe a red to green tomorrow. I'm not a big fan of stocks in that price range, but I want to watch it. PACB also, a nice little breakout on Friday. Maybe we get a little gap down in a red to green. So anytime I get a really high relative volume move in a stock and it closes strong, I want to put it on watch the next day with the thought that I want to make sure that I'm not chasing it. Okay, so it's all going to depend on if I can get an intraday setup. A lot of times you get a nice follow through day and you look back at the chart and you say, man, that gave like a perfect narrow range for the first 15 minutes and then broke out. So having these on charts can be lucrative. LGCY, kind of the same thing. A nice breakout on big volume, maybe a red to green, and something like an NEOT or SRPT. Really, any of these PAC-B, they should probably be on watch if you're a day trader all next week because they might just flag for a few days and then give a nice secondary move. So keep that in mind. So ARGS found some support at $7 on Friday. Closed above its open. We'll see if we can get some volume there. It wasn't very active on Friday, but it might continue the bounce on Monday. It's really, it's just fallen from 14. It's been cut in half in a few sessions, so that is one that you could get a nice percentage bounce. PTCT, this one we've been watching for a few days, and it's holding up. Let me zoom in a little bit. It's holding up really well. Had a really nice bounce on Thursday and held up well on Friday. So Friday's high, 843, Thursday's high, 841. I'm going to be looking to go long at 844 if it gets there with a proper intraday setup on Monday. As a matter of fact, as I'm talking, I'm going to put 844 in my notes. All right. Now, keep in mind, those numbers aren't. I don't live and die by those numbers. It might gap down to 7, and then if it runs straight to 844, then I don't want it. So keep that in mind. It's all relative to how it trades at the open. EYES tried to break out on Thursday and kind of held up well. You got a couple green candles in a row. You got the high and the lower high. And if it can get above this whole range here, it might retest these highs. So it's a lower float stock that when it does move, it can move pretty nicely. So I'm going to put EYES on watch. GBS, let me try that again, GBSN. Can't tell anything by looking at this chart till you zoom in. Had the gap up here, and really it's found some nice support around the 310. Around the 310 area, it's held up well. And then if you look at Friday's intraday action, had a really nice spike on big volume in the middle of the day. So I want to watch this one for a potential red to green, even though the daily chart just looks weird. That one can squeeze at times. BCEI. Okay, take Friday's candle out of it, right? Looks like sellers came in and it's topped out. And then look at this, right back up near Thursday's high. So I like it over Friday's high, 354, knowing that just to the left, you've got a possible 361, and then there's really nothing in the way. So I'm going to put those numbers on my list right now. 3.54 and 3.61, both potential catalysts to move BCEI higher. GoPro, GPRO, you have this high back here, which was 1484. Lower high right here, 1435. And then Friday's high. So you can actually draw a trend line real quick for you. It's not hard to see that this thing could break out here over, I like it over Friday's high, which would be about 14.19, knowing that 14.36 breaks the recent high, and then maybe we break out above that. So pretty good setup here on GoPro. And a couple more. LB, watching this for a potential double bottom. This thing has bounced off of the 76 area really nicely back here, and now it's worked its way back 5 days in a row red. So if we can come down, push down below 76 again, if it's fallen this far, this quickly, this is a pretty good place to look for a bounce at 76 area. And then lastly, United Airlines, UAL, really got beaten up on Thursday, gapped down again on Friday and closed red. But I'm looking for a bounce in the air. Like the airlines bounce, this is a pretty good candidate for what could be a nice percentage move. All right, in addition to that, we will work together as a team in the chat room, stalking potential gap plays on Monday morning as well. So that's plenty to watch on Monday. So enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll talk to you on Monday.